update, and it's a beautiful Saturday in beautiful California, and so we thought we'd talk about some nutritional things. And this study here from Nutritional Metabolics, June 2011, nutritional and metabolic status of children with autism. Well, we talked about that last week. Autism, very devastating type of problem. There's been an epidemic. As with anything, there's both genetic and environmental, but no genetic type of factors change within just 10, 20 years where it's increased, 1,000-fold. But anyway, in this study here from Arizona State University, showing that, children that have autism have nutritional problems. And that's what I found in my practice. Other doctors that use natural medicine and functional medicine are able to get profound beneficial effects in terms of autism. So here are these drug doctors. Once again, this is from Nutrition Metabolism, June 2011, states that the autism group had statistically significant differences in nutritional and metabolic status, including biomarkers include vitamin insufficiency, increased oxidative stress. Now, we've talked a lot about that, and that's really important, and the foundation of over 200 diseases, and reduced capacity of energy situation and detoxification. So a very, very important part of any type of skin problem, especially with autism, is a nutritional workup, and that's what we do best. There's kind of the standard joke about medical doctors or drug doctors. Who knows most about nutrition? Well, maybe it's the medical doctor, unless the receptionist, he or she's had weight loss programs, then now they know more about nutrition because they have less than 4 hours. Here's another study about cancer, which we've talked about, and Cindy has a new website on different types of cures. Vitamin B6 and breast cancer. This comes from actually from Taiwan, and this was published in Journal Epidemiology, June 2011. It's again peer-reviewed scientific article, not Reader's Digest, not Golf Digest, real science there. What they were able to find out, and this is their quotation, our findings suggest that higher intake of B6 is associated with a reduction in breast cancer risk. So, here are some very simple, inexpensive type of programs to prevent things. We've talked about the whole gamut of things, from Mediterranean diets and exercising, stress reduction, of course, oxidative stress. Just using a good multiple vitamin B vitamins would have a profound effect. But unfortunately, and I know it sounds kind of cynical, is as we've talked about over and over again, thousands of years ago in Chinese medicine, doctors were paid only when you were healthy. As soon as you got sick, you got a disease, you would stop paying them. So him or her would have to then try to get you back. This system is completely opposite. It's a sick system. That's right, it actually is sick. The more you get sick, the worse that you get sick, more money is made. Very, very sad. So prevention is the key here. Here's some simple things that you can do. The landmark study from the University of Utah showed for every $1 for prevention, you save $16. That's a 1,600% return on your investment for reactive, waiting until things break down, developing diabetes, having a heart attack, having cancer. And unfortunately, that is the motivating factor. As long as people are sick, more money is made. And as we'll talk about a little bit later on with antibiotics and one of our segments coming up, is, when medical doctors make a mistake, hey, they just make more money. They screw you up and you have to go back to the hospital, hey, that's another $50,000 to $100,000. So that's kind of sad. What other industry, which there isn't other than the government, federal government, is able to create such a disastrous type of outcome like that? So here's one, vitamin C and cataracts, real common thing that we see as we get kind of older here. This was published in Ophthalmology, June 2011, and this is from India. That's still appropriate. This is what their quotation, we found a strong association with vitamin C and cataract in vitamin C depleted population. Very common type of thing that we've seen. We could spend a lot of times, we're one of only about a couple species, a certain kind of a bat and a couple primates and a guinea pig that doesn't produce vitamin C. Your little kitty cat and doggy and other animals produce their own vitamin C. And they know by doing studies that when animals are under stress, they can produce up to 10,000 or 10 grams of vitamin C a day. So this notion of you taking 30, 60 milligrams of vitamin C a day is pretty much a joke. It does prevent scurvy, but doesn't do anything about in terms of really helping the body deal with different types of problems like that. So vitamin C, very, very essential in terms of good health and well-being. Here's a little bit more aggressive type of problem. Grapeseed extract linked to reduced risk of cutaneous squamous cell carcinoma. Another type of problem, skin cancers, exploding in terms of type of problems, from basal cell, squamous, and melanoma. Well, in this study here from actually Kaiser, Northern California, right up here where we are, in Fairfield and Napa, in the Journal of American Academy of Dermatology, June 2011, showed that those people that were taking a grapeseed extract was able to, and that's what their quotation, to invest the use of grapeseed extract and multiple vitamins as preventive agents against this type of skin cancer. So if things are kind of changing, I know when you go see your drug doctor, you know, oh, they roll their eyes, but that's becoming less and less. There was a landmark study where they actually surveyed nurses and doctors, and guess what percentage of drug doctors take vitamins and minerals and herbs that they don't tell you to do? Over 75%. So that's a little bit of hypocritical. Now, to be fair, as give them a little bit of credit, the reason why they don't want that revealed is because they don't know anything about it. So that would be, you know, oh, Dr. Smith, you're taking, you know, some vitamins. Well, have you heard about CoQ10? No. How about the grapeseed? No. And so they get into position that they, you know, they don't know anything, and that hurts their ego. So it's unfortunate that they can't just say, hey, you know, I'm a great doctor, you know, as a Dr. Smith, but you need to see even the better doctor is Dr. Noah. You know, when you go to talk about nutrition and health and wellness, you need to go see him. Well, that wouldn't work either, because eventually then that doctor wouldn't have any patients, so that would be sad. So that's never going to happen. Effects of vitamin D and calcium and are subject to risk of diabetes. We just talked a little bit before about the two kinds of diabetes. Type 1, which is an autoimmune disease where your immune system breaks down your own pancreas that it can't produce insulin, which is a hormone that brings sugar from the outside of the cell inside the cell, so it has energy. And just a little off the topic there, there's been now 3 scientific studies from the European area that drinking milk is possibly a causative factor for up to about 15 to 20%. The milk protein is very similar to the protein or the structure of the pancreas, and because what's called leaky gut, because all the crappy food and don't do real well, the milk protein absorbs into the blood system. The body, which is rightly so, says that's a foreign protein and tries to kill it, but then gets confused, and then as it's going through, like you know, checking out any bad things, it sees the pancreas and says, oh, you're like that milk protein, so we're going to kind of kill you. So there's actually been some direct links in type 1 diabetes for drinking cow's milk, which is not a good thing to do because of all the drugs. So anyway, in this particular study from Tufts University, they showed that taking calcium magnesium for just, once again, a period of 16 weeks was associated in terms of helping the beta cell function and be able to decrease the what's called hemoglobin A1C level, which is one of the tests that we do as doctors to find like that. So here's some very common type of things that are very, very important in terms of helping you try to overcome these type of orders. Now also on Cindy and Don's website, the Incurables, type 2 diabetes is 100% absolutely, positively, without a doubt. You get an impression here that this is an absolute, is curable. But you got to get off your butt, you got to change your diet, you got to do certain things. And so, oh yeah, well, I tried, you know, instead of drinking, you know, Pepsi, I switched over to Coke, and that didn't, and I went to Diet Coke. Well, we know from last week and previous studies that has nothing to do with weight loss, it actually causes problems. So, but if you make the changes, because type 2 diabetes is a lifestyle type of problem. And the last one, CoQ10 and muscular dystrophy. This study from the George Washington University, published in Muscle Nerves, February 2011, showing that CoQ10, one of our favorites, was associated with an increase, because muscular dystrophy is a wasting neurodegenerative disease, your muscle wastes away. By taking CoQ10 was an increase, which is phenomenal for that type of neurodegenerative disease, for muscle decrease, 8.5% in muscle strength. And they said this results warrants a larger, more type of study, because they were so excited about making this positive change, because usually muscular dystrophy is a natural regression or decrease in terms of people wasting away. So enjoy those fun facts. We'll talk to you soon. Thanks.